So when you go to the depressed patient in the community, they will have already filled in this chart, and you need to go and basically you're going to add up the numbers and you're going to speak to the patient about what that means. So first of all, I'm just going to look at the chart and look at the numbers that have been filled in. So here Jackie's filled in with nearly every day. So these are all meaning how often the person feels in each item they feel those emotions. And basically she's done little interest in pleasure more than half the days, feeling down, depressed or hopeless nearly every day, trouble falling asleep and staying asleep 1, so that's several days, feeling tired and having no energy again several days, poor appetite or overeating she scored as a 3, and feeling bad about yourself and a failure, you've let your family down, a 2, which is more than half the days, trouble concentrating on things and reading the newspaper and television, she's put as a 2, which is more than half the days, moving or speaking so slowly that other people could have noticed, or the opposite, being fidgety, restless, that you have been moving around a lot more than usual, that's a 1, and thoughts of harming herself or better off dead is scored as a 0. So this patient has not expressed any feelings of wanting to self-harm or committing suicide, so that isn't something we really have to worry about on this assessment. And I do believe in the OSCE they will not make that one of your priority issues, because it tends to be the mental health patient in the psychiatric OSCE that feels suicidal. So don't really focus on that as a care plan in the next station. When you add these numbers up, do them in columns. So we've got 2 3s here, which makes 6. More than half the days, we've got 2 4 6. And then we've got several days, 1 2 3. And then the zeros, they don't matter. So 6 and 6 is 12 and 3 is 15. So that is important that we get that number correct. If you add up these numbers incorrectly, it's an instant fail. Can I just cut a minute? So that's fine, but I forgot to get the other part of it, which is explaining. I hope I've got. I've got it in the booklet. So I brought a booklet with me, which has got everything in.
I'll keep rolling.
Yeah.
Or we could just...
Yeah, because if it's easier.
Yeah, just come straight in.
So what I'll do is...
you remember where you left off?
Yeah, because what I'll do then is say 15, the relevance of... Doesn't matter, it's got a... Or should I do it like that? Oh, look, you can see the colours underneath. Sorry. Does that look right?
Oh, we have moved it slightly.
Oh, sorry.
That's right.
Do you want to move it back to where it was?
It depends. What is it you're saying here?
Just going to talk about this. I mean, I was only doing that because of the colour there. Do you think that would look...
Yeah, it doesn't matter too much.
So can I keep this one in shot?
Yeah. We're now at a bit of an angle, if that's all right.
Yeah, just move it back to how it was and that. So, yeah, that I just think you'd probably have the 2 charts to look at like that.
Yeah, well, what you could do actually is, if you want, you could just... wait, are you going to be referring to this as well?
Well, it's just the number, really, the number 15, just so they can see, is that better like that?
Yeah, we would just make a cut and be like, here's the thing, here's the scoring guide or whatever it's called. And what the number
I'm sure they can remember the number 50. Right, okay. So, is it okay just to start talking?
Just cut.
So with that number, we're now going to look at what that means and what we need to tell the patient. So the PHQ 9 score has come as 15, so it's within that bracket, and this is a provisional diagnosis, which means we can tell the patient from this chart, and from how you've scored it, it does look like you have major depression, moderately severe. Now, this is a provisional diagnosis. We're not psychologists or doctors or psychotherapists, but we can give the patient an idea of what this means. And we can also talk to them about treatments recommended. So there's antidepressants or psychotherapy. So these are things that we could just mention to the patient, obviously just very briefly explain what each thing means. I'm sure most people know what antidepressants are, and just very briefly about psychotherapy being a form of therapy that can help improve their mood. So this is how you approach this chart, and you must relay to the patient to some extent what this means, but there's no in-depth explanation needed. As I say, we're not mental health experts, we're general adult nurses, so this is all is required.